This is the story of Lisa Martinez, a 34-year-old woman who made the ultimate sacrifice for her best friend. When Sarah, her best friend of 12 years, was diagnosed with kidney failure, Lisa didn't hesitate. She got tested, was a perfect match, and donated her kidney. The surgery was risky. Lisa had serious complications: infection, blood clots, weeks in the hospital, chronic pain that still haunts her today. But she did it because she loved Sarah like a sister. She'd do anything to save her. 6 months after the surgery, Lisa found a hotel receipt in her husband's pocket. That receipt led to a confession that would shatter her world. Mark, her husband of 10 years, had been having an affair with Sarah for 3 years. They'd been sleeping together before Sarah's diagnosis, during her dialysis, throughout the transplant evaluation, during Lisa's surgery, and through her painful recovery. Sarah knew. She knew she was betraying Lisa, and she let Lisa give her a kidney anyway. And when Lisa called her transplant surgeon asking if she could get her kidney back, he said no. Once you donate an organ, it's permanent. There's no legal way to reclaim it, even if the recipient defrauded you. So Sarah gets to keep living with Lisa's kidney while sleeping with Lisa's husband. And Lisa? Lisa wants revenge. Before I tell you how a woman discovered that her best friend and husband had been betraying her for 3 years, after she'd already donated a kidney, and what she did when she realized she couldn't get it back, hit that subscribe button for Story Matrix Hub. Because this story has more devastating betrayals and shocking revenge than you can imagine. Friendship destroyed, marriage ended, and a woman determined to make them pay for what they took from her. You need to hear every detail. Now let me tell you about Lisa, the woman who gave everything to her best friend, and lost everything in return. Lisa Martinez had always been the kind of person who put others first. She was 34 years old, a nurse at Denver General Hospital, married to Mark, 37, for 10 years. They had a good marriage, or so she thought. Date nights, inside jokes, shared dreams of starting a family soon. And she had Sarah. Sarah Chen had been Lisa's best friend since they met in college 12 years ago. They were roommates junior year, bridesmaids in each other's weddings, the kind of friends who talked every day and knew each other's deepest secrets. Sarah was single, focused on her career as a real estate agent. She dated casually but never seemed to find the one. Lisa and Mark had tried setting her up with friends multiple times, but nothing stuck. "I'm fine being single," Sarah would say. "I have you guys. That's enough." The three of them were close. Sarah came to dinner at Lisa and Mark's house weekly. They took vacations together, celebrated holidays as a trio. Lisa thought of Sarah as the sister she never had. 2 years ago, Sarah started feeling sick. Fatigue, nausea, swelling in her legs. She ignored it for months. Classic Sarah, always pushing through, never wanting to burden anyone. Finally, Lisa dragged her to the doctor. The diagnosis was devastating. Chronic kidney disease, stage 4. Sarah's kidneys were failing. She'd need dialysis and eventually a transplant. Sarah was only 31 years old. Lisa held her hand in the doctor's office while Sarah cried. "I don't understand. I'm healthy. I exercise. How did this happen?" The nephrologist explained that sometimes kidney disease has no clear cause. Genetics, undiagnosed infections, high blood pressure. It could be anything. Sarah started dialysis immediately. 3 times a week, 4 hours at a time, hooked up to a machine that filtered her blood because her kidneys couldn't. It was exhausting. Sarah lost weight, lost energy, lost the vibrant personality Lisa had always loved. "I'm so tired," Sarah would say. "All the time. I feel like I'm just existing, not living." "You'll get a transplant," Lisa assured her. "You'll get on the list and—" "The list has a 5-year wait time. My doctor says I might not make it 5 years. That's when Lisa made the decision. "I'll get tested," she said. "Maybe I'm a match." "Lisa, no. You can't." "Yes, I can. We're getting you tested." Lisa went to the transplant center the next day. Blood tests, tissue typing, cross-matching. The process took weeks. When the results came back, the transplant coordinator called Lisa personally. "Mrs. Martinez, you're a perfect match. 6 out of 6 antigens. This is extremely rare, even among family members. So I can donate? You'd need to go through medical evaluation, psychological evaluation, meet with the surgeon. But yes, if everything checks out, you'd be an ideal donor." Lisa went home and told Mark. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. "Kidney donation is major surgery. There are risks. Sarah is my best friend. I have to do this. What about us? What about having kids? Will you still be able to get pregnant after donating a kidney? The doctors said it's possible. Lots of kidney donors go on to have healthy pregnancies. But what if something goes wrong? Nothing will go wrong. But Lisa understood Mark's concern. Kidney donation wasn't risk-free. Donors could develop high blood pressure, protein in urine, even kidney failure themselves later in life. There was surgical risk, bleeding, infection, blood clots. And then there was the recovery. 6 weeks minimum, possibly longer if complications arose. But Lisa didn't care. Sarah needed a kidney. Lisa had two. The choice seemed obvious. She went through the evaluation process. Medical tests to ensure her kidneys were healthy. Psychological evaluation to confirm she understood the risks and wasn't being coerced. Why do you want to donate? The psychologist asked. Because Sarah is my best friend. She's like my sister. I can't let her die when I have the power to save her. Have you thought about the possibility that the transplant might not work? That you'd have given up a kidney for nothing? It'll work. It has to. The surgery was scheduled for 6 months later. Enough time for Lisa to prepare, for Sarah to get as healthy as possible, for both of them to understand what they were about to go through. During those 6 months, Lisa threw herself into preparation. She read everything she could about kidney donation. She joined online support groups for living donors. She got her affairs in order, updated her will, made sure Mark knew where all the important documents were. Mark was supportive but clearly worried. I just don't want to lose you, he said one night. Surgery is always risky. You won't lose me. I'll be fine. Sarah, meanwhile, was overwhelmed with gratitude. I can't believe you're doing this for me, she said over and over. I don't deserve you. Of course you do. That's what friends are for. The week before surgery, Lisa's family tried to talk her out of it. Her mother called, crying. Mija, please reconsider. You're risking your life for someone who isn't even family. She is family, Mom. Not by blood, but by choice. What if something happens to you? What if Mark needs you and you're not there? Nothing will happen. But Lisa's mother's words stuck with her. What if something did happen? The night before surgery, Lisa couldn't sleep. She lay in bed next to Mark, thinking about what she was about to do. Are you scared? Mark asked. Terrified. We can still cancel. You don't have to do this. Yes, I do. Sarah is counting on me. Mark pulled her close. I love you. You're the bravest person I know. I love you too. The next morning, Lisa and Sarah were prepped for surgery in adjacent rooms. The plan was to remove Lisa's left kidney laparoscopic, then immediately transplant it into Sarah. The surgeries would happen simultaneously, Lisa's kidney removed, Sarah's new kidney implanted. Before they were wheeled into the OR, Sarah grabbed Lisa's hand. Thank you, she whispered. For everything. I'll never be able to repay you. You don't have to repay me. Just live a long, healthy life. That's all I want. The anesthesiologist put Lisa under, and the last thing she remembered was thinking, I'm doing the right thing. The surgery was supposed to take 4 hours. It took 7. Lisa had complications during the procedure. Bleeding that was difficult to control, blood pressure drops, issues with the laparoscopic equipment that forced the surgeons to convert to an open surgery. When she woke up in recovery, she was in excruciating pain. How's Sarah? She managed to ask through the morphine haze. Her surgery went perfectly, the nurse said. Your kidney is already producing urine. It's working beautifully. Lisa smiled through the pain. It was worth it. Sarah was going to live. But Lisa's recovery was brutal. The incision from the emergency open surgery was much larger than expected. She developed an infection that required 4 antibiotics. Blood clots formed in her leg, requiring blood thinners. She was in the hospital for 2 weeks instead of the usual 3 to 5 days. Mark stayed by her side the entire time. He slept in the chair next to her bed. He helped her walk to the bathroom when she was too weak to go alone. He held her while she cried from the pain. I'm so proud of you, he kept saying. You saved her life. Sarah, meanwhile, recovered quickly. Within days, she was walking the hospital halls. Within a week, she was discharged. She visited Lisa every day, bringing flowers and magazines and gratitude. Your kidney is amazing, she said. I already feel like a different person. I have energy. I don't feel sick. Lisa, you gave me my life back. I'm so glad, Lisa said weakly. When Lisa was finally discharged, she had a long road ahead. Physical therapy to regain strength. Pain management for the chronic pain that developed from the complicated surgery. Restrictions on lifting, driving, working. She was out of work for 3 months. Mark took family leave to care for her. Sarah visited constantly, helping with housework, bringing groceries, doing whatever she could to help. "I owe you everything," Sarah said. Literally everything. 6 months later, Lisa was finally back to work, though she still had chronic pain in her side where the incision was. The doctor said it might never fully go away. But Sarah was thriving. She'd gone back to work, started exercising again, looked healthier than Lisa had seen her in years. "It's like I got a second chance at life," Sarah told Lisa. "And it's all because of you." Lisa felt good about her decision. Yes, the recovery had been harder than expected. Yes, she still dealt with pain. But she'd saved her best friend's life. That was worth any cost. Or so she thought. Until she found the hotel receipt in Mark's pocket, and her entire world came crashing down. It was a Thursday evening, 6 months post-transplant. Lisa was doing laundry, a mundane, ordinary task. She was going through Mark's pants pockets before throwing them in the wash, something she always did to avoid washing tissues or receipts. She pulled out a crumpled receipt from his right pocket. The Riverside Hotel, downtown Denver. Room charge, $347.50. 2 nights. Check-in 3 weeks ago. Lisa stared at it, confused. 3 weeks ago, she'd been visiting her mother in Phoenix. Mark had stayed home, said he had work projects. Why would he need a hotel room when they lived 20 minutes from downtown? Her first thought was work. Maybe he'd had clients from out of town, and the company put them up at the Riverside. But the receipt was in Mark's name, not the company name. Lisa's heart started pounding. She took the receipt to the home office where Mark was working on his laptop. "Hey, what's this?" She tried to sound casual. Mark looked at the receipt. His face went pale. "Oh, that's from a work thing." "A work thing?" "Yeah, we had clients in town. I booked the hotel room for them." "Under your name?" "The company card was maxed out, so I used mine. I'll get reimbursed." It was a reasonable explanation. But something felt off. "Why 2 nights?" "They were here for 2 days." "What clients?" "Just, potential new accounts. Tech startup." Mark was a financial advisor. He did meet with clients sometimes. But he was avoiding eye contact. And his voice had that slightly higher pitch it got when he was nervous. "Mark, look at me." He looked up. "Are you lying to me?" "What?" "No. Why would I lie?" "I don't know. You tell me." "Lisa, it was a work expense. I don't know why you're making this into a thing." "I'm making it a thing because you're acting weird about it." "I'm not acting weird. You're interrogating me about a hotel receipt." They'd been married 10 years. Lisa knew when Mark was lying. And he was lying now. She went to their bedroom and grabbed her laptop. Pulled up their credit card statement. Scrolled to 3 weeks ago. There it was, the Riverside Hotel. $347.50. But there was another charge, same day, Pazzo's Italian restaurant. $127.50. Pazzo's was a romantic restaurant downtown. Expensive, intimate. They'd gone there for their anniversary once. And there were other charges. From the past 6 months. Charges Lisa hadn't noticed because she'd been so focused on recovery. More hotel rooms. More restaurants. A jewelry store charge for $430. Flowers delivered, not to their house. Lisa's hands were shaking. She went back downstairs. Mark was still at his computer, typing frantically. "Mark, we need to talk." "Can it wait?" "I'm in the middle of." "No. It can't wait." She put the laptop in front of him, the credit card statement visible. "Explain these." Mark looked at the screen. All the color drained from his face. "Lisa, are you having an affair?" "What?" "No. I would never." "Then what are all these charges?" "Hotels, restaurants, jewelry, flowers, none of which I've seen." "I can explain." "Then explain." Mark closed his laptop. Stood up. Paced away from her. "Mark, I just gave my best friend a kidney. I spent months recovering. I'm still in pain every day. And you're going to stand there and lie to me." "I'm not lying." "Yes, you are. I can see it in your face. Just tell me the truth." Mark turned to face her, and Lisa saw something in his eyes she'd never seen before. Guilt. Deep, crushing guilt. "There's someone else," he said quietly. Lisa felt like she'd been punched. "Who?" Mark didn't answer. "Who, Mark? Does it matter?" "Yes, it fucking matters." Mark sat down on the couch, head in his hands. "I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to happen." "How long?" "Lisa. How long?" 3 years. The room spun. 3 years. While she was preparing for surgery. During her recovery. while she was in the hospital with complications. Who is she? Mark didn't answer. And then, with horrible, sickening clarity, Lisa knew. It's Sarah. Mark's silence was answer enough. Lisa couldn't breathe. Couldn't think. Couldn't process what she was hearing. Sarah? My best friend Sarah? I'm so sorry. You're fucking Sarah? Lisa, please. For 3 years. Mark was crying now. It just happened. We didn't plan it. I gave her my kidney. Lisa screamed the words. Screamed them so loud her throat hurt. I gave her a piece of my body. I risked my life. I'm in chronic pain. And she was fucking my husband the entire time. She wanted to tell you. We both did. But we didn't know how. Oh, you wanted to tell me? How noble. And when exactly were you planning this confession? Before or after I donated a vital organ to her? Lisa, please let me explain. There's nothing to explain. You've been cheating on me with my best friend for 3 years. During her illness. During the transplant. During my recovery. I know. I know it's unforgivable. Did she know? Before the surgery? Did Sarah know you were having an affair when she let me donate my kidney? Mark didn't answer. Answer me. Yes. She knew. Lisa picked up the closest thing to her, a picture frame from the side table, and threw it at the wall. It shattered. Get out. Lisa. Get out of my house. Where am I supposed to go? I don't care. Go to Sarah. Go to your brother. Go to hell. I don't care. Just get out. Mark grabbed his keys and wallet and left. Lisa collapsed on the floor and sobbed. Hours later, Lisa's phone started buzzing. Text messages from Sarah. Lisa, please let me explain. I'm so sorry. I never meant to hurt you. Please answer. I know you're angry, but please let me explain what happened. Lisa didn't respond. She couldn't. If she talked to Sarah right now, she'd say things she couldn't take back. Do things she'd regret. Instead, she called the transplant center. This is Lisa Martinez. I donated a kidney 6 months ago to Sarah Chin. I need to speak with my surgeon immediately. Is this a medical emergency? No. I need to ask him a legal question. She was transferred to Dr. Patterson's office. Left a voicemail. He called back within an hour. Mrs. Martinez? Is everything okay? Are you having complications? No. I need to know if there's any way to reverse a kidney donation. Silence. Dr. Patterson? Mrs. Martinez, I'm not sure I understand the question. Can I get my kidney back? From Sarah? Is there a legal process for that? No. I'm sorry, but no. Once an organ is donated and transplanted, there's no mechanism to reclaim it. Even if the recipient lied to me? Even if she defrauded me into donating? What happened? Lisa told him. About the affair, the 3 years of deception, Sarah knowing the entire time. Dr. Patterson was quiet for a long time. Mrs. Martinez, I'm truly sorry for what you're going through. That's a profound betrayal. But from a medical and legal standpoint, the donation is permanent. The organ belongs to Sarah now. Even if she lied or manipulated you into donating, there's no legal precedent for reclaiming a donated organ. That's insane. She committed fraud. I understand your anger. But organ donation law is very clear. Once the transplant is complete, it's irreversible. You could potentially sue for emotional distress or fraud, but you can't get the kidney back. So she just gets to keep it? She gets to keep living with my kidney while she destroys my life. I'm sorry. I wish I had a different answer. Lisa hung up and screamed into a pillow. Sarah had stolen everything. Her husband, her health, her trust, her future. And she got to keep the kidney anyway. The betrayal was so complete, so total, that Lisa couldn't even comprehend it. She'd saved Sarah's life. And Sarah had destroyed hers in return. For 3 days, Lisa ignored Sarah's calls and texts. She couldn't face her. Couldn't hear her voice. Couldn't look at the woman she'd loved like a sister without wanting to physically hurt her. Mark was staying with his brother. He'd tried calling too. Lisa blocked his number. She called in sick to work. She couldn't face people. Couldn't pretend everything was fine when her entire life had imploded. On day 4, Sarah showed up at Lisa's house. Lisa saw her through the window, standing on the porch, ringing the doorbell over and over. Lisa opened the door. Sarah looked terrible. Pale, thin again, eyes red from crying. Lisa, please. We need to talk. We have nothing to talk about. Yes, we do. Please. Let me explain. Explain what? How you fucked my husband for 3 years while I donated a kidney to you. I know you're angry. Angry? Angry? Sarah, I'm not angry. I'm beyond anger. I'm in a place where there aren't even words for what I'm feeling. Please, just let me come in. Let me tell you what happened. Against her better judgment, Lisa let her in. They sat in the living room. The same living room where they'd watched countless movies together, had girls' nights, celebrated Sarah's recovery. Start talking, Lisa said. Sarah took a shaky breath. It started 3 years ago. At my birthday party. Mark and I were both drunk. You'd gone home early because you had an early shift. We started talking and then it just happened. It just happened? You accidentally fell onto my husband's dick. I'm trying to explain. I don't want your excuses. I want the truth. You fucked my husband at your birthday party while I was home sleeping. And then what? You just kept fucking him. We tried to stop. We both felt terrible. But we couldn't stay away from each other. Oh, how romantic. Star-crossed lovers who just couldn't resist their passion. Except you weren't star-crossed. You were my husband and my best friend. I know. Don't you think I know how wrong this was? Do you? Because you let me donate a kidney to you while you were sleeping with my husband. You looked me in the eye every day and lied. Sarah was crying. I wanted to tell you so many times. But I didn't know how. And then when I got sick. Oh, so you being sick gave you permission to betray me? No. But Lisa, I was dying. I was on dialysis, waiting for a kidney that might never come. And then you offered to get tested, and you were a perfect match, and I thought. You thought what? That you'd just let me save your life and keep fucking my husband. I thought maybe if I lived, I could make things right. I could end things with Mark and fix our friendship. Except you didn't end things with Mark. I tried. After the surgery, I told him we had to stop. That I couldn't do this to you anymore. But he said he loved me. That he wanted to leave you for me. Lisa felt like she'd been stabbed. Mark wanted to leave me for you? He's been unhappy in your marriage for years. Don't you dare blame this on my marriage. You don't get to justify what you did by claiming my marriage was broken. I'm not justifying it. I'm just trying to explain. Did you love him? Sarah hesitated. Did you love him? Yes. Lisa laughed, a horrible broken sound. You loved him. So you let me give you a kidney while you were in love with my husband. I never asked you to donate. You didn't have to ask. You were my best friend. You were dying. Of course I was going to donate. I know. And I'm grateful. Don't you dare say you're grateful. You don't get to be grateful for a kidney you didn't deserve. Lisa, please. Did you laugh about me? You and Mark? Did you laugh about stupid Lisa, giving her kidney to the woman fucking her husband? No. We never. I almost died during that surgery. I had complications. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. Where were you during that time, Sarah? I was visiting you every day. No, where were you really? Were you in bed with my husband while I was recovering from saving your life? Sarah didn't answer. Oh my God. You were. You were fucking him while I was in the hospital. It only happened once. Once. Once is all it takes. I was lying in a hospital bed in excruciating pain from a surgery I chose to have to save you. And you were in my house, in my bed, fucking my husband. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Sorry doesn't fix this. Sorry doesn't give me my kidney back. Sorry doesn't unfuck my husband. What do you want me to do? Tell me what I can do to make this right. There's nothing you can do. You can't make this right. You can't undo 3 years of betrayal. You can't give me back my health or my marriage or my trust. Lisa, please. You're my best friend. I'm not your friend. Friends don't do what you did. You're nothing to me now. Less than nothing. Sarah stood up. I'll give you space. But Lisa, please know, I never wanted to hurt you. But you did hurt me. You destroyed me. And you knew you were doing it the whole time. That's what makes this unforgivable. After Sarah left, Lisa called her lawyer. I want to sue her. The lawyer, Linda Chin, no relation to Sarah, listened to the story. That's horrific. I'm so sorry. But I need to be honest with you. You don't have much legal ground to stand on. How? She committed fraud. She let me donate a kidney while lying to me. The problem is that the donation paperwork you signed says that your decision to donate was made freely, without coercion, and with full understanding that the donation is permanent. Sarah didn't coerce you. She didn't force you. She just didn't tell you she was having an affair. That's fraud by omission. Maybe. But proving that her affair was material to your decision to donate is nearly impossible. A judge would likely rule that you would have donated regardless, because you donated to save her life, not because of your friendship. That's insane. I know. But organ donation law is designed to protect donors from being sued by recipients if the donation doesn't work out. That same law makes it nearly impossible for donors to sue recipients for any reason. So she just gets away with it? Not entirely. You could sue for emotional distress based on the affair and deception. You might get a settlement, but you can't force her to return the kidney or pay you for the kidney itself. How much could I get? Depends on the judge and jury. Maybe $50,000 to $100,000 if you can prove severe emotional harm. It was something, but it wasn't enough. Lisa wanted Sarah to suffer the way she was suffering, and she was going to find a way to make that happen. Lisa spent the next week planning. She couldn't get her kidney back. She couldn't undo the surgery or the betrayal. But she could make sure everyone knew what Sarah had done. Sarah's reputation, her career, her relationships, those were all things Lisa could destroy. And she was going to start by telling Sarah's family exactly what kind of person their daughter really was. Lisa's first call was to Sarah's mother. Margaret Chen had always treated Lisa like a daughter. She'd visited Lisa in the hospital after the surgery, brought food during recovery, thanked Lisa repeatedly for saving Sarah's life. "Lisa, sweetheart. How are you? Is everything okay with your recovery? Margaret, I need to tell you something about Sarah. And it's going to be very difficult to hear." Lisa told her everything. The affair, the 3 years of deception, Sarah knowing before the transplant, and accepting the kidney anyway. The silence on the other end was deafening. "Margaret? Are you there?" "I'm here." Margaret's voice was cold. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry to tell you this way, but you deserve to know. You saved my daughter's life. You gave her your kidney. And she was sleeping with your husband." "Yes. For 3 years. Yes. Oh my God. Lisa, I'm so sorry. I'm so ashamed. I don't know how Sarah could do this. Neither do I. What can I do? How can I make this right? There's nothing you can do. I just wanted you to know the truth." Margaret called Sarah immediately. Lisa knew, because Sarah texted her an hour later. "You told my mother? How could you? This was between us." Lisa didn't respond, but she felt a grim satisfaction. Sarah's perfect relationship with her family was cracking. Next, Lisa called Sarah's sister, Emily. Emily had been at Lisa's wedding, had visited during the kidney recovery, had sent flowers and cards. "Lisa. Hi. How's everything?" "Not great, Emily. I need to tell you something about Sarah." She told Emily the same story. Emily was horrified. I can't believe Sarah would do that. After everything you did for her." "Believe it. Have you talked to her? Maybe there's more to the story." "I've talked to her. She admitted everything. She doesn't deny it." "Jesus. What are you going to do?" "I'm making sure everyone knows what she did." Within 24 hours, Sarah's entire family knew. Her parents, siblings, aunts and uncles, cousins. Lisa's phone buzzed with messages from Sarah. "You're destroying my family relationships. My parents are furious at me. My sister won't talk to me. Was this really necessary?" Lisa finally responded. "You destroyed my life. I'm just returning the favor." Next, Lisa went public. She posted on Facebook a long, detailed post about the affair, the kidney donation, the betrayal. She tagged Sarah and Mark in it. Within hours, the post had hundreds of comments. Friends and family expressing shock and support. "I can't believe Sarah would do this. Lisa, you're so brave for sharing this. Sarah should be ashamed. Mark is disgusting. You deserved better." Sarah's reputation in their social circle was destroyed overnight. Mutual friends started unfriending her. People who'd celebrated her recovery started posting about betrayal and fake friends. Sarah called Lisa crying. "Please take down the Facebook post. Please. You're humiliating me." "Good. You should be humiliated." "Lisa, I know I hurt you, but this is too far." "Too far? Too far. You fucked my husband for 3 years, and let me give you a kidney. But me posting about it on Facebook is too far. People I work with are seeing this. My clients. Then maybe you should have thought about that before you betrayed me." Lisa hung up. Then she went further. Sarah worked as a real estate agent. Her career depended on her reputation and relationships. Lisa left reviews on every platform she could find: Google, Yelp, Facebook business page. "Sarah Chen is a fraud and a liar who will betray anyone for personal gain. She accepted a life-saving kidney donation from me while having an affair with my husband for 3 years. She has no ethics and cannot be trusted. Do not do business with this woman." Sarah's business started getting calls. Her broker called her in for a meeting. Sarah texted Lisa, You're trying to destroy my career. I could lose my job because of your reviews. Lisa, good. Maybe you should get a job that doesn't require people to trust you. Lisa also called Mark's employer. Mark worked at a financial services firm that prided itself on family values and ethical conduct. I'd like to report an ethical concern about one of your employees, Mark Martinez. Lisa explained the situation to HR. While this is a personal matter, I thought you should know that Mark has been engaging in a long-term affair and has demonstrated serious lapses in judgment and honesty. If he's willing to lie to his wife for 3 years, what else might he be lying about? Mark was called into a meeting with HR and his supervisor. He texted Lisa, "They're putting me on administrative leave while they investigate. Are you happy now? You're destroying my career over a personal matter. Lisa, asterisk, you destroyed our marriage over a personal matter. We're even. Asterisk." The revenge felt good. Watching Sarah and Mark's lives fall apart felt like justice. But Lisa wasn't done. She'd been contacted by a local news reporter who'd seen her Facebook post. "Mrs. Martinez, I'm working on a story about organ donation and the emotional complexities involved. Would you be willing to be interviewed? What would you want to know? Your story is unique. You donated to your best friend, had complications, and then discovered she'd been betraying you. It raises questions about whether there should be more protections for donors, more thorough vetting of recipients." "I'll do it." The interview aired the following week on the local evening news. Lisa told her story on camera. The kidney donation, the complications, the discovery of the affair, the realization that Sarah had known the whole time. "The system failed me," Lisa said. "I donated a kidney in good faith, and there was no mechanism to discover that the recipient was actively betraying me. If I'd known, I never would have donated. But by the time I found out, it was too late." The reporter asked, "Do you regret donating?" "Every day. I live with chronic pain from that surgery. I have 1 kidney instead of 2. I risked my life. And it was all for someone who didn't deserve it." "What would you say to Sarah if she's watching?" Lisa looked directly at the camera. "I'd say that karma exists. And you'll pay for what you did eventually." The segment went viral. National news picked it up. Woman discovers best friend's affair after donating kidney. Lisa was interviewed by CNN, Good Morning America, The Today Show. She became the face of a conversation about organ donation ethics, about whether recipients should be required to disclose certain information to donors. Sarah went into hiding, stopped responding to media requests, deactivated her social media. Her real estate career was over. Too much negative publicity. Mark lost his job. His firm decided his ethical lapse was too much of a liability. Lisa felt vindicated. But as the media attention died down and Lisa returned to her normal life, she realized something. The revenge hadn't healed her. It had felt good in the moment, but the pain was still there. She'd destroyed Sarah and Mark's lives, but she still had chronic pain from the surgery. She still had 1 kidney. She was still alone. And she was starting to wonder if the revenge had been worth it, or if she'd just created more destruction in a situation that was already destroyed. 3 months after the media storm, Lisa was struggling. The chronic pain from the surgery had worsened. Her doctor said it was likely stress-related, the emotional trauma manifesting as physical pain. She was on medical leave from work. Depression, anxiety, PTSD from the betrayal. Her therapist, Dr. Amanda Ross, was helping her process the trauma. "Do you feel better after exposing them?" Dr. Ross asked. "I thought I would. In the moment, it felt like justice. But now I just feel empty. I destroyed their lives, but it didn't fix mine. Revenge rarely does. So what was I supposed to do? Just let them get away with it. There's a middle ground between doing nothing and destroying them publicly. They deserved it. Maybe. But did you deserve to become the kind of person who destroys people? Is that who you want to be?" Lisa didn't have an answer. She'd been so focused on making Sarah and Mark pay that she hadn't thought about what she was becoming in the process. One evening, Lisa got an unexpected call from Sarah's mother, Margaret. "Lisa, can we meet? I need to talk to you about Sarah." They met at a coffee shop. Margaret looked older, worn down. "How is she?" Lisa asked, surprising herself with the question. "Not good. She's not eating, not sleeping. She's having panic attacks. Her therapist thinks she might be suicidal." Lisa felt a pang of something, not quite guilt, but close. "I didn't mean for her to. I'm not blaming you. What Sarah did was unforgivable. But Lisa, I'm worried she's going to hurt herself. And I know you're a good person. I know you don't really want that. Don't I? She destroyed my life. And you destroyed hers. You're even now. But if she dies, you'll have to live with that. Lisa went home and thought about it. Did she want Sarah to die? No. Despite everything, she didn't want that. But she also wasn't ready to forgive or help. A week later, Lisa got a call from the hospital. Is this Lisa Martinez? Yes. This is Denver General Hospital. Sarah Chin was brought in by ambulance. She's listed you as her emergency contact. Can you come to the hospital? What happened? She took an overdose of pills. She's stable now, but she's asking for you. Lisa's first instinct was to say no. To hang up and let Sarah deal with the consequences of her actions alone. But something made her go. She drove to the hospital, went to Sarah's room. Sarah was in the bed, hooked up to IVs. She looked small, broken. You came, Sarah whispered. What the hell were you thinking? I couldn't take it anymore. The guilt, the shame, everyone hating me. I just wanted it to stop. So you tried to kill yourself? With my kidney inside you. I'm sorry. Stop saying you're sorry. Sorry doesn't mean anything coming from you. I know. But I need you to understand something. Understand what? Sarah took a shaky breath. The affair with Mark. It was more complicated than you think. I don't want your excuses. It's not an excuse. It's the truth. Mark told me you two were having problems. That your marriage was dead. That you'd grown apart. That's bullshit. Our marriage was fine until you destroyed it. Was it? Lisa, when's the last time you and Mark had sex? That's none of your business. He told me it had been over a year before the affair started. He said you were more like roommates than spouses. He was lying to justify cheating. Maybe. Or maybe your marriage had problems you didn't want to see. Lisa felt rage building. So this is my fault now. I made Mark cheat by not having sex with him enough. No. I'm just saying, the marriage wasn't as perfect as you remember. Even if that's true, it doesn't justify what you did. You're my best friend. If Mark was unhappy, you should have told me. Not fucked him. You're right. I should have. I was wrong. But Lisa, I need you to know I loved him. It wasn't just sex. I was in love with him. That makes it worse, not better. I know. But I'm trying to explain why I did it. Why I couldn't stop. I don't care why. The result is the same. You betrayed me. Sarah started crying. I know. And I'll regret it for the rest of my life. But Lisa, I'm begging you, please stop. Please stop destroying me. I get it. I deserve to be punished. But I can't take any more. You tried to kill yourself and you're asking me to stop? Yes. Because if you don't stop, I will try again. And next time I'll succeed. Lisa stared at her. This woman who'd been her best friend, her sister, was threatening suicide if Lisa didn't back off. That's emotional blackmail. I know. But it's also the truth. I can't live like this. Lisa left the hospital feeling sick. She called Dr. Ross that night. She's threatening suicide to make me stop. What do I do? That's manipulation. You're not responsible for her mental health. But what if she actually does it? Then that's her choice, not yours. You can't set yourself on fire to keep her warm. But I gave her my kidney. If she dies, my kidney dies with her. All of this, the surgery, the pain, the complications, it'll all have been for nothing. Is that really why you'd stop? To preserve your kidney? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I just don't want her death on my conscience. Lisa, let me ask you something. What do you actually want? Not what you think you should want, but what you genuinely want. Lisa thought about it. I want to move on. I want to heal. I want to stop thinking about Sarah and Mark every second of every day. Can you do that while continuing to destroy them? No. Then maybe it's time to stop. Not for them. For you. Lisa made a decision. She took down the Facebook post. Deleted the negative reviews. Stopped talking to the media. She wasn't forgiving Sarah. She wasn't reconciling with Mark. But she was stepping back from active destruction. It wasn't for them. It was for herself. Because Dr. Ross was right. She couldn't heal while she was still focused on revenge. 2 weeks after Sarah's suicide attempt, Lisa got a letter. Not from Sarah. From Mark's lawyer. Mark was filing for divorce. And he was asking for spousal support. The letter explained that because Mark had lost his job due to Lisa's defamatory statements to his employer, he was now unemployed and entitled to temporary support while he found new employment. Lisa couldn't believe it. She'd donated a kidney, been betrayed, destroyed her health, and now Mark wanted her to pay him? The rage that had started to fade came roaring back. If Mark wanted a war, she'd give him one. Lisa's lawyer, Linda, was furious when she saw Mark's demand for spousal support. This is outrageous. He cheated, you have proof, and he's asking for your money. Can he do that? Technically, yes. Colorado is a no-fault divorce state. The affair doesn't matter for spousal support. What matters is income disparity. You're employed, he's not. Therefore, he could qualify. That's insane. I agree. But here's the thing. He's claiming he lost his job because of your actions, not because of his affair. If we can prove his employer fired him for the affair, not for your statements, we can fight this. How do we prove that? We get his employment records. We find out exactly why he was fired. Linda filed a discovery request. Mark's former employer was required to turn over his personnel file. What they found was interesting. Mark had been put on administrative leave not because of Lisa's call, but because another employee had filed a complaint. A female coworker claimed Mark had made inappropriate advances toward her. She'd reported it to HR the day before Lisa called. Mark's firing had nothing to do with Lisa. He was being terminated for workplace sexual harassment. This changes everything, Linda said. Mark lied. He was already being fired. Your call to HR was irrelevant. They filed a response to Mark's spousal support request, including the evidence of his harassment complaint. Mark's lawyer withdrew the spousal support demand immediately. But Mark wasn't done. He filed for half of the marital assets, including the house Lisa had inherited from her grandmother before they married. He's trying to take everything, Lisa told Linda. He won't succeed. The house was yours before marriage, so it's separate property. But he's entitled to half of everything acquired during the marriage. The divorce turned ugly. Mark fought for every piece of furniture, every bank account, every shared asset. Lisa fought back just as hard. The legal battle dragged on for 6 months. During that time, Lisa focused on healing. She went to therapy twice a week. She joined a support group for people dealing with betrayal. She started journaling, exercising, rebuilding her life. She also started dating again. His name was Daniel. He was a teacher, divorced, kind. They met at a coffee shop, cliché but genuine. Daniel knew her story. Everyone did after the media coverage. But he didn't judge her for the revenge campaign. You were hurt and you lashed out, he said. That's human. I took it too far. Maybe. But you stopped. That's what matters. Lisa appreciated that he saw her as more than just the woman from the news story. 6 months into her relationship with Daniel, the divorce was finally finalized. Mark got half the savings, half the investments, and some furniture. Lisa kept the house and her inherited assets. No spousal support for either party. The marriage was over. Legally, finally, completely. Lisa felt relief. Not happiness, exactly. But relief that it was done. Around the same time, she got a message from Sarah. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I need to tell you something. I'm moving to Seattle. New job, fresh start. I wanted to let you know so you don't have to worry about running into me. I also wanted to say thank you for saving my life, even though I didn't deserve it. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to become someone who does deserve it. I'm sorry for everything. I hope someday you can find peace. Lisa read the message several times. She wanted to be angry, wanted to send a scathing response about how Sarah would never deserve the kidney, how the apology was meaningless. But she didn't. Instead, she just wrote, "Goodbye, Sarah," and blocked the number. Not because she was angry, but because she was done. She didn't need closure from Sarah. She didn't need forgiveness or apologies. She just needed to move on. A year after the kidney donation, Lisa did an interview with a medical ethics journal. They wanted to talk about her case and whether organ donation laws needed to be reformed. Do you regret donating? The interviewer asked. Lisa thought about it carefully. I regret who I donated to. I regret not seeing Sarah's betrayal before it was too late. But do I regret trying to save someone's life? No. I don't regret the impulse to help. I just wish I'd helped someone deserving. Should there be more screening for organ recipients? I think there should be more protections for donors. We take all the physical risk, and we have no recourse if the recipient turns out to be terrible. There should be some kind of donors' rights bill. Something. What would that look like? I don't know exactly, but maybe a cooling-off period? Or required counseling for both parties. Or, at minimum, some kind of legal protection if the donor discovers fraud. The interview sparked a conversation in the medical ethics community. Some doctors agreed. Donors needed more protection. Others argued that any barriers to donation would cost lives. Lisa didn't have all the answers, but she'd started a conversation, and that felt meaningful. 2 years after the kidney donation, Lisa and Daniel got engaged. They had a small ceremony, just close family and a few friends. Lisa wore a simple dress. Daniel cried during his vows. "You've been through hell," he said, "and you came out the other side stronger, kinder, more compassionate. I'm honored to spend my life with you." Lisa cried too. Happy tears this time. At the reception, Lisa's mother pulled her aside. "Are you happy, Mija?" "Yes, Mom. I really am. I'm proud of you. For how you handled everything. For not letting the betrayal destroy you. It almost did. But it didn't. That's what matters." Lisa thought about Sarah sometimes. Wondered how she was doing in Seattle. If the kidney was still working. If she'd found happiness. But mostly Lisa didn't think about her at all. The betrayal would always be part of her story. The kidney donation would always be part of her history. But it wasn't her whole story anymore. She'd rebuilt. She'd healed. She'd moved forward. And she'd learned something important. Revenge feels good in the moment, but healing feels better in the long run. 3 years after the kidney donation, Lisa was at a medical conference where she was speaking about donor rights. During the Q&A, a young woman raised her hand. "I'm considering donating a kidney to my sister. But after hearing your story, I'm scared. What if she betrays me? What if I regret it?" Lisa thought carefully before answering. "Here's what I'd say. Donation is one of the most selfless things you can do. It's beautiful and powerful and life-saving. But it's also permanent. You can't take it back. So before you donate, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And make sure you can live with the decision even in a worst-case scenario. What were the right reasons for you?" "I thought I was donating because Sarah was my best friend and I loved her. But looking back, I think I was also donating because it made me feel like a good person. Like a hero. That wasn't a good enough reason. So what would be a good enough reason? Donating because you've genuinely thought about the risks, accepted them, and decided that saving a life is worth those risks, regardless of who that person is or what they might do in the future. Donating because helping someone is its own reward, not because you expect gratitude or loyalty in return." "Do you wish you hadn't donated?" Lisa paused. "I wish I'd donated to someone else. Someone who deserved it. But I don't regret the act of donation itself. I saved a life. That's worth something, even if the person whose life I saved turned out to be terrible." After the conference, a man approached Lisa. "Mrs. Martinez? I'm Dr. James Whitmore. I work in transplant ethics. I wanted to tell you that your advocacy has led to real changes. Several hospitals now require psychological evaluations for both donors and recipients, specifically asking about the relationship and any potential coercion or undue influence. That's good. It's because of you. Your story made people realize that donors can be exploited emotionally. You're protecting future donors." Lisa felt something she hadn't felt in years, pride. Not pride in the revenge she'd enacted. Not pride in destroying Sarah's life. But pride in using her pain to create positive change. She'd turned her worst experience into something meaningful. And that, finally, felt like healing. That's Lisa's story. A woman who donated a kidney to save her best friend's life, only to discover the friend had been betraying her for years. She sought revenge, then stepped back from it and chose healing instead. The kidney is gone. The friendship is gone. The marriage is gone. But Lisa survived. She rebuilt. She found love again. And she turned her trauma into advocacy that protects other donors. Would you have donated if you'd known? Would you have sought revenge? How far would you have gone? Drop a comment below. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you're considering organ donation, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. Make sure you can live with the decision forever, regardless of what happens next. Subscribe to Story Matrix Hub for more incredible true stories about betrayal, survival, and finding strength in impossible situations. Remember, the best revenge isn't destruction, it's living well. I'm Story Matrix Hub. Thanks for listening.